This is just one of the.
Let's you lock yourself out of the door. You get in.
It's the detonation whiskey.
Oh, I see those in the foreground of the videos. Yeah, so they make like a loop and a hook like that.
Hooks around the back arm.
Okay.
And then you bend this guy around the front arm.
Okay.
Like that. Right. So now he's connected, and then you'll just bend these up into like little contact points. So when they touch,
it just closes the circuit.
Yeah. And then like right here, you just cut a little fucking 2 little cuts. Peel that off, so you get the exposed wire. You put your detonator board wire on there, and you're good to go. Pretty simple.
So you don't use the actual contact detonator in the front of the round.
No.
You make this thing with an electrical circuit that closes, pops it off.
So you have like usually some Ukrainian home-style explosive that they've R&D'd.
Yes.
Nowadays it's all like stuff we're used to. When everybody first showed up, they were doing a lot of testing, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't.
This is so simple though.
Yeah.
Like if the drone hits anything, it's going to eventually bump that.
I mean.
Like, any angle, it's going to set it off.
When you hear drones, you think like, holy shit, like this sounds like a really technologically advanced, like sketchy, hard to understand thing. And they're like, nah, it's just fence wire.
It's a coat hanger.
It's a coat hanger with an explosive attached to it. Like, that's how you keep the cost low, you know? Yeah, sure, it takes 15, 20 minutes to set this up for a drone, but
it works.
Can't really beat the cost.
Yeah.
And I've seen a few different initiation systems, but this one seems to work really, really well for most of the people. They're testing a new one that I'm not sure I can talk about, but it looks really nice. Like it looks really efficient, really easy to set up. And then I saw one that was just like a plunger that when it hits would explode, but I don't know about how effective that would be. I think, you know, just creating contact is a super simple way of doing it. Is just finish that circuit and then boom.
Pop it off?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, should we go to our small talk?
Yeah, sure. Oh, right here.
No, not small talk, you know, the term.
I have nothing big to say. Yeah, that's all small, but sure. The two of us in the frame like this?
Yeah, no, but we can probably go sit in the car as Groot proposed us.
I don't mind. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm not going to be even pausing that.
We might use your mobile office here for a moment.
So Groot, we can sit here, right?
Of course.
Awesome, thank you.
These American fucking flags over there.
Okay, I'm gonna put my backpack to the car meanwhile, just a second. Yeah, not putting this on pause. I wanna keep it as it is, you know, guys. Best way to do it. Just a second. I'm gonna drop my backpack here. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Almost there.
Seat heaters are on.
Oh, man. Spoiled. Life is too good. Spacious. Yeah, right on.
Awesome.
Turn this volume, or turn the blower down maybe for noise. How do we?
Yeah, maybe with mics could be. Yeah, like this.
Okay,
I think that's
better.
enough. Can you please hold this stick for a second? Yeah, I just need to put the mic on me. Whew. I have the, how do you call this? Okay, the thing that I remember the names only from the second time I hear them. So please tell me.
Oh, my name, yeah.
Once again.
By the way, before we start, Shed, my line of sight should be on you, like you and I are having the talk. Don't look right at that, right?
No, we can look there too, because we're talking to people also.
Okay.
So I think,
Sort of feels real.
I'm already recording. That's the style I like, to keep it as it is.
Keep it in the moment.
Like, yeah, and so much good stuff comes out of it, I would say. So, you can now repeat your name, please.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Peter Duke, came from Florida, USA. It's my third time joining a convoy here. I found out through a friend about the 69th convoy effort. And my first one, I didn't really know what it was going to be about. So I had no expectations, but I knew immediately it was something special and I wanted to participate. And now there's a purpose that drives me forward. I mean, like being involved in this, you feel part of a greater good, and a purpose is priceless. Everyone needs some kind of purpose in their life, and I found mine.
Yeah, man, I totally understand, because I found mine too, because of this war. So this war brings so much terrible stuff, but also gives so many people around the world the chance to find their purpose, to like really find something that they can be helpful in, right?
Right.
And so many people in my community found that purpose and found that calling, and they are living their happy lives when, like, wherever they are in any
Yes.
country. They can support Ukraine financially or just spreading information. There's so much to do and so much work, because Russian propaganda, as you know, is very powerful, and
Yeah.
it's everywhere.
Well, the thing is, the propaganda is so successful because many people have a completely neutral viewpoint in their mind when they start. They know nothing really of Ukraine or of the countries around it, Estonia, the Baltic states. They know nothing of the history. And so anyone that gets in their head and tells them a few things, that becomes their worldview. So if the Russians are very active on social media, which they are because they understand the value of commanding people's viewpoints, if they're on social media saying, don't give aid to Ukraine, it's all getting stolen, they don't deserve it, they're Nazis, like, they can say the most ridiculous things, but if people don't know otherwise, then, okay, that's what I heard, and it echoes in their head, and they believe it. Like, the human mind is very simple that way. You have a lot of distractions in your life. You're
Yeah.
very busy, and if you don't take the time to explore, the first thing that goes in your head becomes your truth.
Yeah.
So to be here and to see the people that are fighting here, the people that are volunteering, the people that are defending Ukraine and know what they stand for, that makes the difference. Because once you're here, it becomes black and white. You know who is doing the right thing and who is not. I mean, there's a simple principle back home in the U.S., and it's called stand your ground. And what it is, it's a set of laws that says if someone is an intruder that comes into your house, you basically have almost 100% right to shoot that person, because they have no right to be in your house. They can save their excuses. They can save all their explanations. Well, that was my house a long time ago, and I left something in the closet. Now, fuck that.
Yeah.
You're an invader. Stand your ground means you got to defend your castle and your
yeah.
keep, because the ground here, Ukraine, is their home, their fatherland. It's where their families are. It's where their ancestors lived. It's where their children are born into, and they want that to be free.
Yeah.
And governed by Ukrainian laws, not Russian laws.
Yeah.
So Sergei Lavrov can keep his fucking lies. No one believes this shit. Once they've been here and they see how the world is and they see how the Ukrainians are, they know this is what matters. This is their land and their right.
Yeah, totally. I agree 100% with every word you just said. So I really appreciate what you're saying, and it is a bit touching also how good you understand all of this and standing with Ukraine, because lately U.S. military aid's been lowering down and
yes.
being paused, and all that Congress stuff. Politicians are playing the games like before election games,
Yes.
and a lot of Ukrainians are being disappointed and feeling abandoned, and I know that American people support us, and nothing
Yes.
really changes. I know so many Americans who are with us, who are supporting us, despite your government is being a bit that's a good word for it, indecisive.
Yeah, so I'm embarrassed for the way things are being handled there, but I'll assure you that just like it's a small percentage of Congress that's holding up the aid, a small percentage of Americans are actually not backing Ukraine. Most of them, when they do polls, they believe in Ukraine, they believe in the cause of freedom, and they believe it's the U.S.'s right to help ensure that we do what we promised, which was back Ukraine. So I'm embarrassed that right now things feel a little bit rough, but in my mind, there's no way the Ukrainians will not secure their independence.
Let's hope that that's the darkest hour. That's before the dawn.
Always. Yes.
Because this might get even darker, of course. This might, but let's hope that's the darkest hour we're in right now. That's the only thing I could say. But what do you think? How big the chances are that this pause in supporting Ukraine will last for until the very election and after, or What do you think?
It's dangerous to make guesses about politics, but I do know that if the U.S. does not carry the torch forward from here, the Europeans are under no such illusions that the Russians plan to stop if they manage to secure some small victory in eastern Ukraine. Like they make it very clear their goal is to reestablish a Russian empire. The Europeans understand this. They are marshaling their forces to aid in Ukraine's defense. They will give more. They will rise to the occasion.
And I really see how in the past month a lot of European countries have really seen that more clearly, like that it's their war. And they really need to increase the production of ammunition, the production of weapons too, and that's changing for the better. So Europe is 100% standing with us.
Absolutely,
I'm sure of it.
And once Europe gets that that process fully solidified, even if they all give a small percentage of their GDPs to support Ukraine, that will be more than enough. We can't forget, like, Europe is not under attack, but Russia is. Ukrainian drones are going into Russia, and the oil refinery export terminal got hit. Factories get hit. This is continuing to erode the Russian power. Russia is under sanctions, not Europe. They're the ones which are suffering. The Russia makes it out like they're invincible, like some Borg. We will assimilate. We cannot be defeated. But until they are, they talk a big game, but eventually something will break. They are not all powerful.
I really believe that too. They only trying to seem invincible.
Yes.
But they aren't. They will fall apart eventually. And I think, by the way, do you agree with me when I say the only way to stop this continuous and it's going for centuries. Their invasions, their empire expansion. The only way to stop it is to make Russia become 89 national states.
You can't make them do that, but they'll do that on their own, believe me. I mean, already you can see fractures in this. The center around Moscow is not going to hold forever.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Oh, really?
Waiting for connection.
Is it mine? No, I think
Maybe
it's in the car.
Ah, yeah, that was the car's.
Mine is not that loud.
Yeah.
So I think. By the way, do we still have time? Are you hurried?
I have no time. I mean, I have no pressing need to go do anything.
Awesome.
It's
So,
fine.
I just like make conversations long, but not too long, of course, because
Make
I
it
still
a
have
natural
some stuff
conversation.
to do.
It's fine. Yeah.
So I still didn't finish my point. So
Yes.
you still agree that the only way to stop it is to for Russia to fall apart? Because I don't believe that it is possible to have some new government in Russia. They will turn this empire into totally democratic state.
I mean, look, we have to rewind a bit. Like, if you zoom out and look at the big picture, number one, there's no way that Putin would have ever done this invasion if he had a view of 2024 and where things would be. The cost to Russia has been enormous. He thought, from what was told to him by his advisors, that this would be a cakewalk. Cakewalk is like a very easy invasion. In some matter of months, everything is wrapped up. He installs a new government in Kyiv, and then they reap the benefits of their invasion. No way that he was banking on this happening. He's already had a near coup when Prigozhin almost ran up on Moscow. There are no coups in Western capitals. They're the ones that should be worried. Things are not getting better in Russia. This winter has been very harsh for them. They've had problems with their energy infrastructure and people freezing. Well, Russia is the one that's a few weeks away from major civil strife, at any given moment. They have to work very hard to keep things together. Again, this impression that Russia is giving out, that the West is corrupt, that the West is falling apart, they are projecting.
As always.
Always projecting.
That's the best thing they can do.
Yes. I mean, if it wasn't for the very active Russian misinformation campaign, if people just look at Russia and who their allies are, look, it's you, North Korea, and Iran.
Well, I would call China also there.
But China's smart enough to know they don't want to get directly involved militarily, because China is only winning from this, because Russia is going to be a toothless resource colony of China when it's all over with. So we'll leave China out of this. They're just going to be the benefactor of the power vacuum that's going to happen when Russia is debilitated, which is where they're headed.
Well, you see, China is smart, and China is still supporting Russia with a huge, I would say it's a huge factor, drones.
They're giving them drones. Yes, that's because Russia is giving them all kinds of money and all kinds of resources.
Yeah.
China is a merchant, and they're not going to go and shoot themselves in the foot by overtly giving military aid to Russia.
Yeah,
Believe me, if Russia loses this, it benefits China.
Yeah, I understand. I understand all of this. I just
Yes.
I just want to say that helping with drones is actually a huge support because
Yes.
drones are, they have, damn it, I forgot the word. When I'm getting tired, I start to forget all.
Well, it's like a force multiplier, perhaps, or something of that nature. But those same drones
Yeah.
are available to us, and that's why, of course, it's important that we continue to fundraise and provide the Ukrainians with the technology
Very
and the
important.
money they need to keep counteracting the Russian
Yeah.
forces.
Well, I'm an optimist, and I believe that we'll get through this crisis of the U.S. election and all this stuff. Whatever the president's gonna be after this, I think we still can have some hope for the better, for even increasing the aid to Ukraine. Because politicians, they often say something just to win the elections, and then they start acting differently sometimes. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe. I think I should not ask you about your political views.
Oh, I
Or
can
should
sum. My political views are fuck Trump.
Fuck Trump.
Okay, like
I totally
any
agree with
sane
that.
person would see. I don't want to get too into politics, but I'll sum it up in those two words because
Okay,
that
man,
says it all.
I can high five you on this because I don't like that con man. and-
No, he's a blatant con man. But let's not speak about cults of personality because political things will come and go. But I tell you, the Ukrainian spirit will not be dominated no matter what. I am certain they will pull through this.
Yeah. I like lately for the last month or two, I'm trying to see that probably every man in Ukraine, every conscious and not, indifferent man must serve at some point. Probably
Yes.
that's inevitable. So I started to prepare bit by bit, went to the medical training, and though I'm, trying to delay that as much as possible and volunteer like when it's gonna be like now or we're done and
Most
we're
necessary.
dead. Yeah,
and
most
effective.
necessary.
Yes.
I still am doing some impact with my community. I think I do the best I can in these conditions. Of course, I could have volunteered and go to the front, but I am comforting myself with that fighting Russian propaganda and fundraising is also important.
It is very important. Now, let me say, I mean, it's not you just making excuses. I am doing something, you are doing something. Would we be a more effective force as one man with a rifle in a trench? I don't know that that's my strong suit. You
Yeah,
know,
same.
but being able to raise funds, being able to raise awareness, being able to spread the messaging to the people out there that see this, that is a force multiplier. The one person that I found out about the 69th Sniffing Brigade from, through them, through me, through my connections, has resulted in probably dozens of trucks being delivered now, hundreds of thousands US dollars being raised, a documentary movie being made, like far beyond what that one person could ever have done if they decided to be like a fighter. Not everyone should be a fighter. There's other ways
Yeah.
to help the effort.
And actually to fight this way. So
Yes.
I think we're fighting and we're being like the helpers of
Absolutely.
the fighters who really risk their lives.
Yes.
They do the best and we gotta do the best to protect them with drones, with cars,
Yes.
with thermal scopes. All this equipment, it helps a lot. So guys, please don't stop. And I'm sure that you won't stop because I know you're dedicated to stand with Ukraine until the very end.
Absolutely.
Can we, with my community, find you in some social networks?
Yeah, sure. If you go to Instagram, I am Duke Bravo, just like it sounds, very straightforward. And of course, you guys probably have the handle for the 69th Sniffing Brigade, where if you want to support our NAFO truck effort, you'll find links there to do so. But most of all, whether you click, whether you donate, just keep your spirit up, share the word with other friends about what's going on, that we're helping Ukraine, and that Ukraine will not be forgotten. Slava Ukraini.
Heroям Slava. I would just add that I would love to invite you to one of my streams if you want to come at some Sunday, Ukrainian, 8:30 p.m.
Okay, yes. I would enjoy that very much.
Awesome.
I'll join you there.
Awesome. Thank you very much. It was nice to
Hands
meet
full.
you, Peter.
You as well, Rick.
And once again, Heroям Slava, my friends.